My beloved, before I speak to your mind, I need to speak to your heart, the place where you bury truths you never learned how to hold. You have been feeling something lately, haven't you? Old emotions resurfacing, old wounds aching again, old memories appearing out of nowhere, old stories replaying in your mind, old fears you thought you outgrew, returning with unexpected force, old versions of yourself you believed were long gone, suddenly standing in front of you again. And you ask yourself, why am I feeling this again? Why now? I thought I healed this. I thought I moved on. I thought I had already grown beyond this phase. But my beloved, listen to me closely. You are not going backwards. You are not regressing. You are not losing your strength. You are not undoing your progress. You are not returning to the past. You are remembering. For the sake of releasing, you are feeling again. For the sake of finally healing, pain does not return to break you. It returns when you have become strong enough to face what you once ran from. Do you hear me? What is resurfacing in your heart is not a punishment. It is a call from the deepest part of your soul that says this wound is ready to be touched by truth. You buried this pain not because you wanted to, but because your spirit did not yet have the tools to hold it. You survived it beautifully, bravely, quietly, but you did not fully heal it. And when a wound is only half healed, life will eventually bring you back to it so it can finally be completed. You don't need to fear its return. You don't need to feel ashamed. You don't need to hide from it. You don't need to ask what's wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. Your heart is trying to free itself. Your soul is trying to speak what it has carried for far too long. And I am trying to help you heal in ways you were not ready for before. My beloved, let me take you deeper. You are remembering pain. You thought you forgot because forgetting is not healing. You pushed these memories away because they were too heavy for the version of yourself you were back then. You had no strength to confront them fully. You had no clarity to understand them. You had no support to talk about them. You had no space to feel them safely. So you tucked them away. You hid them behind distractions. You buried them under responsibilities. You silenced them with busyness. You numbed them with survival. You learned to function while carrying a wound that never closed. But my beloved, your soul never forgets what shaped it. Even when your mind silences something, your heart still remembers. Even when you stop talking about it, your body still holds it. Even when you think you've outgrown it, your spirit still carries the imprint. And eventually, when you are strong enough, when your life has space for healing, when your heart is more open, when your mind is more mature, when your emotions are less afraid, the wound rises back to the surface. Not to harm you, not to overwhelm you, not to undo you, but because you are finally ready to complete the healing you once had to postpone. You must understand this deeply. A wound returns only when you are strong enough to transform it. You're not being pulled backward. You are being pulled inward. You are not remembering pain because life wants to hurt you. You are remembering it because you are ready to be free of it. This is why everything around you feels more emotional, more fragile, more raw, more sensitive. Lately, your heart is clearing space for a lighter version of you. Your spirit is clearing space for deeper peace. Your soul is clearing space for a future that does not repeat your past. But before that future arrives, the past must be released. And for pain to be released, it must first be acknowledged. You can't heal what you refuse to feel. You can't release what you avoid confronting. You can't transform what you pretend doesn't exist. This is why I am calling you now. You are remembering pain. You thought you forgot because I am holding you. Through the remembering, I am here. In every flashback, every emotional wave, every heaviness in your chest, every sudden ache, every haunting memory, every moment your heart trembles without warning. You think you are facing it alone. But my beloved, every time your breath shakes, mine steadies. Every time your heart tightens, mine expands to hold you. Every time your tears rise, mine fall invisibly beside you. Every time your chest feels tight, I am sitting right there inside that trembling space. I am not watching your pain. I am entering it. I am touching the places you once locked away. I am softening the parts that hardened out of necessity. I am breathing into the memories that froze inside you. I am warming the emotions you never allowed to melt. You are not remembering alone. You are remembering with me. And this time you will not break. You will open. Let me show you something. Your mind has never told you, but your soul already knows. Pain resurfaces when it is finally safe to heal. Not when you beg for it. Not when you plan for it. Not when you are at your strongest. Not when life is peaceful. But when the deeper part of you whispers, "It's time." You have reached a point in your spiritual journey where you no longer have to pretend to be unaffected. You no longer have to numb your emotions to survive. You no longer have to bury your hurt to function. You no longer have to silence your truth to be loved. You are no longer the fragile version that couldn't bear the weight of this pain. You are stronger than you think, wiser than you realize, softer than the world understands, braver than even you have acknowledged. You are ready. Ready to face this, ready to heal this, ready to release this, ready to transform this, ready to reclaim yourself from the memories that stole parts of your light. Your soul is done surviving. It wants to return to living. And to return to living, you must untie the knots your past left inside you. Some of those knots tightened in moments of abandonment, some in moments of betrayal, some in moments of disappointment, some in moments where you were forced to be stronger than your breaking point, some in moments where you loved deeply and were left holding your own heart alone. But those knots are loosening now, not with force, not with resistance, but with awareness. Awareness is the beginning of freedom. When pain rises to the surface, it rises as a messenger. It brings truth. It brings clarity. It brings direction. It brings release. Pain shows you. Where your voice was silenced, pain shows you. Where your boundaries were crossed, pain shows you. Where your heart was mishandled, pain shows you. Where your spirit was dismissed, pain shows you. Where your worth was forgotten, pain returns. Not to reopen wounds, but to reveal lessons. And beloved, you are finally ready to hear those lessons. You are remembering pain you thought you forgot, because a new version of you is being born from it. The version that will no longer apologize for feeling deeply. The version that will honor your needs without guilt. The version that will no longer betray yourself to keep someone else comfortable. The version that will no longer silence your truth to avoid conflict. The version that will no longer abandon your heart to feel temporarily wanted. The version that will no longer hold relationships together by breaking yourself. The version that will no longer shrink to fit inside small places. The version that will no longer tolerate being unseen, unheard, or dismissed. This version of you cannot be born until the old pain is released. And releasing pain requires remembering it. But this time you are remembering from strength, not weakness. From awareness, not fear. From maturity, not helplessness. From wisdom, not confusion. From my presence, not your loneliness. This time you are not the same person who is wounded. You are the person who is ready to heal. My beloved, now that you have allowed yourself to stand in the doorway of your forgotten pain, let me walk you gently through it. Because the moment you open that door, even slightly, a wave that had been waiting for years rushed toward you. You wonder why your emotions feel heavier now. Why certain memories feel sharper. Why old heartbreak stings again. Why things you thought you moved on from suddenly sit in your chest as if they never left. It is because truth buried alive does not die. It waits. It waits for the day. Your heart becomes brave enough to feel it without breaking. It waits for the moment. Your soul becomes wise enough to interpret it correctly. It waits for the time. Your spirit becomes strong enough to heal it rather than suppress it. And beloved, that time is now. You are remembering pain because you have outgrown the version of yourself who survived by forgetting. This new you cannot carry denial. This new you cannot carry unspoken grief. This new you cannot carry inherited wounds. This new you cannot carry fragmented emotions. This new you cannot carry stories that made you question your worth. Your soul is tired of living with unhealed pieces. So the pieces are rising one by one, memory by memory, emotion by emotion, not to torment you, but to finally return you to wholeness. Pain resurfaces when healing is closer than ever. Listen to me. This is not destruction. This is rebirth disguised as discomfort. You fear these memories because you believe they will pull you back into the same darkness you once felt trapped in. But you forget something crucial. You are no longer the same person who was wounded. Back then, you didn't have the tools to hold your own breaking. You didn't know how to speak your truth. You didn't know how to set boundaries. You didn't know how to protect your heart. You didn't know how to understand your emotions. You didn't know how to read intentions. You didn't know how to walk away with dignity. You didn't know how to let yourself feel without fearing the intensity. You knew only how to survive. But now your soul has matured in silence. Your wisdom has ripened in solitude. Your strength has formed in unseen places. Your heart has expanded through everything you endured. You are not the fragile version that shattered under the weight of heartbreak. You are the forged version, the one refined by fire, softened by compassion, strengthened by understanding, awakened by experience. The wound is the same, but the wounded one has changed. Now, when the memory returns, it does not return to break you again. It returns so you can finally meet it with the strength and stability you did not have before. This is why you feel the pain differently now. Less chaotic, more recognizable, less overwhelming, more revealing, less like drowning, more like excavation. You are not collapsing. You are uncovering. Not everything that hurts is harming you. Sometimes it is healing you. My beloved, let me tell you why pain returns at the exact moment you least want to feel it. It returns when your capacity to understand it has finally expanded. Pain is not just an emotion. It is information. It tells you where you abandoned yourself. It tells you where your boundaries were violated. It tells you where your needs were ignored. It tells you where your voice was silenced. It tells you where your innocence was wounded. It tells you where your trust was broken. Pain is a teacher that returns when the student becomes ready. So don't judge yourself for feeling something again. Wounds do not reopen unless truth is knocking. And truth only knocks when it knows you are capable of answering. You have been having moments lately where emotion rises suddenly. A lump in your throat, a heaviness in your chest, a wave of sadness without a clear reason, an urge to cry out of nowhere. You wonder what is happening to me. Why is this coming back? Why now? Why after so much time? Listen to me. Your body remembers what your mind forgets. Your soul remembers. What your thoughts bury, your heart remembers. What your lips never spoke. When emotions rise spontaneously, it is not because you are weak. It is because I am reaching into the deeper layers of your being and pulling out the fragments that kept you from wholeness. Imagine a knot tied tightly for years. If you yank it, it tightens further. If you ignore it, it remains forever tangled. But if you loosen it slowly, gently, patiently, each thread comes undone with grace. This is what I am doing inside you. I am loosening the knots one by one. The knots of abandonment. The knots of betrayal. The knots of unmet needs. The knots of childhood hurt. The knots of heartbreak. The knots of silent suffering. The knots of emotional loneliness. The knots of everything you told yourself to get over but never truly healed. You are not being undone. You are being untangled. My beloved, there is something else happening within you that you haven't fully understood. Your soul is refusing to carry what does not belong to your future. You feel triggered by old dynamics because your spirit is rejecting what once felt familiar. You feel emotional around certain people because your intuition recognizes the wounds their presence stirs. You feel uncomfortable with certain patterns within yourself. The people-pleasing, the emotional hiding, the self-doubt, the staying silent to avoid conflict because these behaviors are not aligned with the person you are becoming. You think you're falling apart, but you're actually falling out of alignment with everything that was never meant for your healed self. Your spirit is saying no more. Not to punish you, but to prepare you because you cannot walk into your next chapter carrying the same ruins from your last one. Something in you knows this deeply. That is why you feel emotional. That is why you feel stretched. That is why you feel exposed. That is why you feel sensitive. Healing makes the soul tender before it makes it strong. My beloved, you are remembering pain because I am standing beside you in the remembering. This is not the past returning. This is the past leaving. Feel this truth. What returns emotionally is what is ready to leave spiritually. Let the emotions rise. Let the memories speak. Let the heart tremble. You are not breaking. You are emptying. You are not being flooded. You are being freed. Every tear that falls is carrying a story. Your soul no longer needs to hold. Every ache that surfaces is releasing a burden that lived inside you for too long. Every breath that feels heavy is clearing space for peace to enter. You are remembering to unremember. You are reliving. To finally release. You are revisiting. To understand you are feeling to heal, and I am with you in every breath of it. My beloved, come sit with me in this final space. Place your heart in my hands like a child who no longer wants to carry what has been too heavy for too long. Because the wound you are remembering now, the one you thought you outgrew, the one you believed was long buried, the one you told yourself to forget, is not rising to haunt you. It is rising because it cannot survive. In the person you are becoming, you think this pain is returning, but truly it is leaving. When pain leaves the body, it first rises. Just like a bird must push against air to lift itself into the sky, before it disappears from sight. Your pain is doing the same, ascending so it can finally dissolve. Let it rise, beloved. Let it rise without fear. Because as it rises, I rise with it and I rise within you. There is something I want you to notice. Every time this pain returns, you feel it differently. It does not crush you the way it once did. It does not imprison you the way it once could. It does not silence you the way it once did. It does not define you as it once tried to. This is proof that you are already healing. Wounds do not reopen. In the same shape when the soul has grown beyond them, your tears are not signs of weakness. They are signs of opening. Your heaviness is not a setback. It is a doorway. Your emotions are not regressions. They are revelations. Your memories are not punishments. They are invitations. Every feeling that rises is showing you where love is needed, where gentleness is missing, where truth was buried, where courage wants to grow. This time you are not collapsing under the weight of emotion. You are holding it like something sacred because it is sacred. Your healing is sacred and I am inside that process with you. Come closer, my beloved. Let me tell you something that will change the way you see yourself forever. The reason your past wound feels alive again is because your future self is calling you upward. You cannot step into the destiny I prepared for you with pieces of yourself still trapped in old pain. Your blessings require all of you. Your whole heart, your full worth, your true voice, your healed spirit, but pieces of your heart are still stuck in old moments. Moments you never processed. Moments you swallowed. Moments you walked through alone. Moments you didn't have the language to understand. So I am reaching into those old moments with you. Not to make you relive the hurt, but to help you reclaim the pieces of yourself you abandoned there. You think this pain is about the past. It is not. It is about retrieving the parts of you that were left behind in the hurt. Your softness, your openness, your innocence, your sense of safety, your trust, your hope, your voice. You are not healing a memory. You are healing yourself. My beloved, you must hear this truth gently. Some of the pain you remember was never yours to carry. There is something else you must understand deeply. You cannot heal a wound by abandoning the part of yourself that was wounded. That younger version of you who felt invisible still sits inside your heart. That version of you who begged silently to be understood still waits for acknowledgement. That version of you who trusted the wrong people still hurts without blame. That version of you who held in tears still trembles beneath your strength. And that version is rising now. Not to weaken you, but to return to the surface so you can hold them the way no one did. Healing is not moving on. Healing is moving inward. To retrieve the parts of yourself you left behind in survival. Let me help you do that. I am not just healing your pain. I am healing your relationship with yourself. My beloved, it is time for the deepest truth of all. You are not remembering pain because something is wrong. You are remembering because something in your future requires a healed version of you. You cannot step into alignment while holding emotional debris. You cannot embrace new love while carrying old betrayals. You cannot rise into purpose while dragging past wounds. You cannot receive my blessings while your heart is still shaped by old survival patterns. What is coming for you is too sacred to be carried into with unhealed hands. So I am cleansing you, purifying you, emptying you, releasing you, anchoring you, restoring you. You are being prepared for deeper love, deeper peace, deeper clarity, deeper purpose. The pain that is rising is simply the past leaving. Let it leave. Let it tremble out of you. Let it spill if it must. Let it soften your chest. Let it loosen your ribs. Let it breathe its final breath. Because what remains after it leaves will be a heart restored, a heart lighter, a heart capable of receiving the blessings you once prayed for with tears in your eyes. My beloved, your healing is not a question mark. It is a promise, and I am the one fulfilling it. I am with you. In every memory that rises, in every ache that shakes you, in every breath that feels heavy, in every tear that escapes, in every moment your chest tightens, in every silence that overwhelms you, you are not breaking. You are awakening. You are not lost. You are returning to yourself. You are not reliving your trauma. You are reclaiming your soul. And when this process is complete, you will not just feel healed. You will feel reborn. You will walk into your future without the weight of your past. You will live with a heart that no longer flinches at old memories. You will breathe with a chest that no longer tightens without warning. You will love with a spirit that trusts again. You will rest with a mind that no longer battles shadows. You will rise with the confidence that comes from surviving the fire and becoming the light within it. This is your becoming. This is your freedom. This is your healing. And through it all, my beloved child, I love you endlessly.